Hey guys, it's your girl Corporate Carolyn, and the corporate work day is over, so I don't have any more work to do. All that's left is for me to go upstairs, decompress, and get ready for the next work day. I feel like I'm on a hamster wheel a lot of the times, and that 4:50 alarm clock goes off really early. And I do understand when my husband says that I have a screw loose because I don't even have to be here at this table until 8:30 in the morning. But yet I wake up sometimes like 4:30 and start doing my little leg stretches and whatnot so that I can get out of the bed by 4:50. So a little touched in the head, but I wanted to stop by before I go upstairs because I had some really bad news for you ladies that are 40 and over. It's a hard realization that you'll have to accept, that I had to accept, and I continue to battle with, even though I'm like 58. It's that once you get to be 40 and older, you can't eat the same way that you used to eat before. Just because you used to go to McDonald's, get a Big Mac, a large order of fries, and a large Coke, and not gain any weight, the minute you pass 40, a lot of that changes. And what I noticed from 40 on is that I could eat less and less. And, like if I drank too many calories, like as I started to drink, sodas or whatever, like I used to drink back in my 40s, I would see that it became more and more difficult for me to lose the weight and then to keep it off. Same thing with the eating. I used to eat snacks during the work week, and it didn't cause me any major issues as long as I just walked. Like maybe did a 15 or 20-minute walk. Man, by the time I got to like 40 and beyond, my body's like 40-minute walk or 15, 20-minute walk. What are you talking about? And then I would have to increase the amount of walking that I did. And then I started jogging. And, it just required more and more effort. And so the other thing is that you don't realize it, but you're losing flexibility. Every year that you're not like stretching and doing a lot of exercises, your conditioning level is going down. The fitness of your muscles, like the tone, if you don't exercise, I'm not a doctor and I can't say this for sure, but I think that we start producing less and less of the human growth hormones. And so as a result, you're going to start seeing like the skin tone on your arms and your legs. It starts to change. You've seen some people like that where the skin is starting to hang off. I think it's because they didn't start exercising by the time they got to be 40. And what I see for some people, you really want to be fit by 40. If you're not already relatively fit by 40, it becomes infinitely harder once you get older, and you certainly don't want to wait until you get to like 50 or beyond, because then all of a sudden you'll be more prone to injury and ailments. Because my husband and I, we joke at like 58 and 59 that almost every week it's something different. Like your bunion might hurt, your left knee might hurt one day, your right knee might hurt the other day. It's like, oh, my hip, it's like his lower back, or just different. My elbow is just hurting for no reason. So you really want to get your stuff together by the time you're 40. And it's not like I just had all of these epiphanies when I was in my 30s and around 40. What actually did that for me was we were in Atlanta's airport once, going on a family vacation with our kids, and then they were saying that I think like our plane was late and we had to get to the other gate in like less than 10 minutes, and we all start running, and Atlanta's airport is huge, so we just start running as fast as we can. And then I was like just so out of breath. I had a laptop bag, and I had like a little, carry bag that I was going to take onto the airplane. And so we're all running, and I was so out of breath. And I think I was barely 40. And it's like my chest was like going like that. And And then I was like, I'm out of shape. And that was my first wake up call to let me know, okay, you got to get yourself together. And then I started thinking about horror movies, because I actually like horror movies. And like Jason or Freddy, not Freddy, but Jason or Michael Voorhees, those monsters, or whatever you want to call them, they would run after women. Or if you watch Lifetime, the people chase women, and usually the women get tired immediately and they fall down and they're like, and they just fall down. And I said, okay, if some crazy person is going to chase me, I want to be able to run a mile at all times. And so that kind of started my jogging expedition. I'm like, okay, I gotta be able to jog at least a mile. Initially, I couldn't do that. I started walking, then I might jog for like 5 minutes. And then I kept increasing that until I could jog a full mile. Then my goal went up. Well, I want to be able to jog at least 2 miles. The criminal or the monster is going to have to be in really good shape and have to jog after me at least 2 miles. But I'm not falling on the ground going, just kill me. I'm going to run. So that helped me to get started on the path. And I was up, and just to let you see, in less than a decade, I think, I was up to being on the treadmill for like 99 minutes and going over 7 miles. And I don't advise that, because like last November, I wound up having to have a meniscectomy to trim my meniscus, because it was stuck in between my knee, and I couldn't straighten my knee for the longest time. And so then when the surgeon went in, he said, oh, you have arthritis, oh, there's damage, you can't run. So for at least a straight decade, or more, almost like probably closer to 15 years, I was like getting it in on the jogging. But that's why you see me looking a considerable amount younger than what I should. I think, and this is my own personal opinion, if you can get your stuff together by the time you hit 40, definitely no later than 45, then it'll be easier for you to kind of like cruise into your 50s, still looking relatively young, still with, some skin tone. I have issues just like anybody else in my age group. But like, you find that you are, firmer and fitter than you might have if you just kind of let yourself go into that age group in bad shape. And I think you stand a better chance of looking more youthful if you can stay relatively slim, within 5 or 10 pounds of what your goal weight should be, and you'll look so much better. But like what the thing is, if you wait until like 45 or 50 and then say you lose 20 pounds or whatever, you won't look the same as you would have if you had gotten to that weight at 40 while you were still pretty fit and looking relatively young. But if you wait until you're already in middle age and you're around that menopause thing, if you do get to be slim, you'll look like middle-aged lady slim and not just slim, like you want to be. So definitely get your stuff together by 40. Follow some of the tips that I have on, even though it talks about, eating what you want, at 58 or whatever. And I'm talking about my age. Those tips still apply, whether you're under 40. And for anybody who wants specific tips for ladies that are under, like 40 and under, let me know. And I'll do some of the Auntie Carolyn videos where I can speak specifically to you. But all the food and eating tips, those are things that I was doing in my 40s in order to get me to this point where I'm looking relatively decent. Praise the Lord. It's nothing but the Lord, giving me revelations on this stuff. It's not like I'm just so smart and, like I just have good genes. A lot of work has taken place, and the Lord just gave me revelations, and I just act on them. And so now, as a part of my ministry that I'm sharing with you guys, so hopefully you can kind of cruise into your 40s, cruise into your 50s. I'm trying to cruise into my 60s, and I think that it'll be a blessed time for you if you can just make these tweaks, hear wisdom, and act on it. Like where the Lord, said, drink more water than anything else. And I started doing it back in the 80s when I was led to, switch from whole milk to 2% to 1%. that has made a huge difference in my life. And so if you start doing like just little things and making consistent changes and adopt some healthy habits, like you guys may have seen the video where I was talking about I drink hibiscus tea like 5 mornings a week when I'm sitting here doing my work with no sugar in it. I'm trying to make sure your girl doesn't have blood pressure problems. That's the kind of stuff you want to catch on the good side of 40. So even though I'm talking about these tips like for people 50 and older, a lot of times, just adopt them, and as it makes sense, implement them in your lives. And when you get to be 58 or older, then you'll be looking younger than your years too. So that's all I have for now. I thought this was going to be so short. I told my husband I would take 5 minutes, but I'm a person who likes to talk clearly, and I apologize, but hopefully it helps somebody out there. Let me know if you need other questions answered, or if there's anything else I can address for you. But until then, have a good one. I'm going to get ready for tomorrow and get some good sleep. Oh, also, go to bed when you're tired. Take your butt upstairs. I've already had dinner. There are no snacks because it's the weeknights. I'm going to go up and brush my teeth, drink a boatload of water. While I'm chill in bed, I'm going to go to sleep when I'm sleepy and not stay up all hours. Netflix will be there tomorrow if you have a DVR record stuff. But take your butt to bed. On that note, have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.